The insurance went up drastically on all of these blocks in this development. They used to be rolled into the service charges, and then they started coming in as extra additional surcharges. So the first year, 2020, was £400. Then it went up to £700 the next year, and £1,400 by the time that we hit 2022. And I was one of the relatively lucky ones who had a smaller bill on the whole, because I had a smaller flat in the development. There were people with 2 and 3 bedrooms paying double that easily.
Hi, it's Harry from Commonhold now and Leasehold for Real Home Ownership. Today we're in Woking, Surrey, in Jonathan Law's constituency. A few weeks ago we put out a video about Joe. His insurance bill spiralled, and Jenny here got in touch to say, you thought he had it bad, hear my story. We're outside her old flat now.
I was 24 years old. It was the first time on the property ladder, and I had some help from my parents and my grandparents as well to be able to buy this flat.
So it was a really exciting opportunity for all of us, really. It felt like a real family effort.
Like so many young home buyers, Jenny soon realised she'd made a terrible mistake. She'd scrimped and saved just to become a glorified renter chained to a mortgage, with uncapped service charges and soaring insurance costs.
So the bills would usually come in at around January time, just after Christmas, and it would genuinely be the case where I'd be like, I don't know how I'm going to pay this extra surcharge, because we'd only be given a week or so to pay the actual bill. And you just start to think, how am I going to do this? You know, every day, all you think about is, how am I going to be able to afford everything here? How am I going to be able to get through life? We decided to try and sell. That was in July 2020. It took 9 months to find a buyer in the first place. And when I did, we were in a big chain. And eventually that buyer dropped out about a week before exchange. And his reasoning was for the insurance surcharges. Then it was time for the fixed rate on that mortgage to run out. And I was rejected because I had 3 different loans in my name at this point. So I couldn't get another mortgage. The total interest was going up from 1.49 to 7.79, which was an extra £562 each month.
If you want to know why I'm travelling the country doing these videos, it's for people like Jenny. It's my generation. Now, seeing this photograph of her just aged 24 made me so angry, because she bought this tiny leasehold flat thinking that it would be a great first step on the property ladder. How wrong she was. Instead, it became 6 years of stress and soaring bills. Now, her leasehold journey has ended just a few months ago, but she had to practically give the flat away to the first buyer that would take it.
So I took a £50,000 loss on the sale overall from what I paid in 2017, but I decided that the mental health struggle was just not worth this anymore. The fact that I just didn't have a control over anything to do with the property was just untenable for me. And so I decided to sell up, even though I still have loans, even though I still have, this financial burden. It was better to be out and free.
So I'm guessing you'd never buy a new build or a leasehold property again?
I would never recommend that anybody buys a leasehold property. I tell all of my friends this. When my grandma mentioned about buying a retirement home, I convinced her otherwise, because it's all just a scam. In my view, this is the biggest organised scam in the UK.
Join Commonhold now to end Leasehold for Real Home Ownership. Commonhold gives us dignity, autonomy and control. Let's make our homes truly our own.